Hi guys, it's Erin again from Noralta Lodge. Thank you so much for joining me today for my 10-minute stretch. This is a great stretch program that should take about 10, maybe 12 minutes to complete. And it's a great stretch and warm-up program before any type of physical work. So if you've got a physically demanding job, it's a great stretch program for that. It'll help warm up the body, release tension. It's also a great warm-up before any type of workout as well. So it's going to be a 4 different part strategy. The first part is trigger point therapy using the tennis ball. So we're going to relieve tight, sore muscles using the tennis ball. This is going to help prevent any injuries that you might accrue over working out or during your shift at work, because it will help to release chronically tight muscles such as the shoulders, upper back muscles as well. The second part, we're going to move into stretching. So that's a static stretch of a few tighter muscles. So we're going to hold those stretches for about 30 seconds. And then the third part is activation. We're going to activate the posterior aspect of the body, so that's the upper back muscles, back of the legs as well. And then the last part, part 4, is activation or integration of the entire body. So it's a warm-up, going to get the blood flowing, the circulation flowing, and get you warmed up before your workout or before you head out for your shift for the day. So let's start with trigger point therapy using your tennis ball. So let's go find an empty space along the wall somewhere. And we're going to place the tennis ball in between your shoulder blades up high on your back. Okay? And you're going to lean back against the wall with the tennis ball in between your shoulder blades, but off of the spine. So we're not going to be on the spine at all. We're focusing on muscular areas of your body, okay? So not on the spine. And we're just going to start by rolling around in that upper back area and just massaging some of those tight, sore muscles in between the shoulder blades. Okay, so again, we're not crossing over the spine here. We're just staying off to one side of the spine. Okay, and you can pick a sore spot that you came across here and then just apply gentle pressure into that spot. That sore spot is usually a trigger point, and by applying pressure for about 30 seconds, it sends a signal to the brain to shut down the chronic contraction. So there's a muscle receptor that senses the pressure from the tennis ball, and that helps to shut down any chronic contraction. So that'll relieve tension, maybe discomfort that you might be feeling. So now let's switch over to the other side of the spine. Okay, so same area, we're just moving over to the other side, and same thing, we're just going to roll around, warm up the area, increase circulation, and this is going to help to reduce any inflammation present in the muscle as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick another sore spot here and apply pressure for about 30 seconds here. And as you're applying pressure, you want to really relax that muscle that you're working on. Take a few deep breaths in and out, relaxing that muscle, and almost thinking that you want to allow the muscle to wrap around the shape of the tennis ball back there. Okay, so really relaxing the arms down beside your body, taking a few deep breaths, and again, it's about 30 seconds or so that you want to hold on that spot. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the chest. So let's take the ball in the right hand and we'll cross over to the left side of the chest. And we're going to roll around in this upper chest muscle here. And again, just looking for any sore spots that you're coming across. Increasing circulation again, decreasing any inflammation. And then let's go ahead and pick a sore spot and hold there for about 30 seconds. You can apply pressure with one hand or with 2 hands. If the pressure is too much and you're feeling that it's really uncomfortable or painful, then just decrease the pressure. You might just be pressing too hard, and you don't want to do that. You can hurt yourself if you're pressing too hard with this. So it's sort of gentle and yet firm pressure, okay? So it might be a little bit uncomfortable. That's okay, but it should not be painful, okay? Let's switch to the other side. Again, starting by warming up. Should just feel fairly nice, just like a gentle massage. And then go ahead and pick a sore spot and apply pressure there for about 30 seconds. So this works on the same principles as a deep tissue massage. It helps to decrease overactive or tense muscles. It can help you sleep at night as well. If you've got achy, sore muscles by the end of the day after a long day at work or a tough workout, you can help to relieve some of that tension by practicing your trigger point therapy. So one more area we're going to work on today is the tops of the shoulders, so the upper trapezius muscle. So we're going to cross over the body, over to the left shoulder using your right hand with a tennis ball. And same thing, we're just going to massage that upper shoulder and should feel fairly good at this point. Just looking around for any sore spots. And there I found one here, so I'm just going to apply pressure there for about 30 seconds. Something important to consider when using this trigger point therapy is that you can use this type of strategy, this therapy, on any muscle in your whole body. So your hips, your legs, your bottom of your feet, the back of your neck. The only rule here is don't press too hard that it's painful. And the second rule is just make sure you're not pressing on any joint or bone in the body. You want to focus on muscle. Okay, let's switch to the other side, same thing. Rolling around the top of the other shoulder, massaging that upper trapezius muscle, and then go ahead and hold on a sore spot here. So this muscle often holds a lot of tension. So psychological stress will hold in our shoulders. If we have any type of job where we're reaching forward for most of the day, a lot of times we can start accruing a lot of tension in the shoulders here. So this is a great strategy to prevent injuries of the shoulders by allowing the shoulders to relax and make sure your shoulder joints are staying in proper alignment. So we're done with trigger point therapy for today. So you can place your tennis ball to the side and you can come on down to the floor. We're going to kneel down on the right knee and then reach the right arm towards the ceiling. So we're going to stretch the front of the hip by leaning forward into the left foot and then tilting over to the left. Okay, so we're stretching away from that right hip. So hopefully feeling a stretch in the front of this right hip. We're holding for about 30 seconds here. This is an area of tension for most people. You've got a job where you're sitting most of the day or bending forward for most of the day. And then let's switch over to the other side. Okay, so the left knee is down on the floor now. Reaching the left arm towards the ceiling. Lean into that right foot and then tilt over to the right. And just take a few deep breaths here. Hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch through the back leg, so the front of the left hip this time. Good, okay, and then we're going to come on up and stretch our wrists. So let's lift the left arm to about shoulder height with the fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. Gently pulling back on the fingers until you feel a stretch in the wrist on the left side. Take about 2 deep breaths here. Now we'll just hold this for about 10 seconds and then we'll switch so that the fingertips are pointing down towards the floor, gently pulling back on the back of the hand. Now you should be feeling a stretch through the forearm. And we'll switch to the other hand, fingers pointing up. And usually you don't have to apply too much pressure here on the hands. You can overstretch and you can get hurt with stretching, so just make sure you're being gentle and listening to your own body, okay? Okay, so next we're going to activate some of the muscles of the posterior aspect of the body. So we're going to lean up against the empty space along the wall again and bring your elbows up to about shoulder height, and your feet are going to be about hip width apart. Your heels are about 6 inches away from the wall. Okay? Press your lower back into the wall and make sure your elbows, forearms, and the back of your hands are touching the wall, as well as the back of your head. Okay, and from here, if your hands can't quite make it all the way to the wall here, then just work on practicing kind of squeezing those shoulder blades together and pressing the elbows back, the hands back towards the wall. Okay, so just stay here. If this is feeling like enough of a stretch for you and you don't want to go any further, then don't. You can just stay here and work at this. You should already be feeling a stretch through the chest, in front of the shoulders. For more advanced, if this is really easy for you, you can start lifting your fingertips overhead. And when you feel a nice stretch, you can come on all the way back down so that your elbows are about shoulder height. Okay? Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Now the whole time, your lower back is firmly pressing into the wall to the point that nobody would be able to slide their hands in between your lower back and the wall. Okay, exhale to lift, inhale to lower, and we'll do that one more time. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Okay, so we're activating some of those upper back muscles, shoulder muscles as well. Okay, so now we're going to come on down to the floor and activate the lower legs. So knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, palms are pressing down into the floor as well. On your next exhale, just lift your hips up as high as you can towards the ceiling. Bring the hands underneath the back, interlace the fingers if you can, and press the forearms down into the floor. Your pinky fingers should also be pressing into the floor. Now lift your hips up a little bit higher if you can. So hopefully now you're feeling a nice stretch through the chest, in front of the shoulders, and we're also working the back of our legs here as well. To increase the challenge here, if you like, you can just lift one foot up off the floor and hold for a second or two, and then switch to the other leg. Keep lifting those hips up as high as you can. Lower the left leg, and then come all the way back down. Good. Okay, so let's roll over onto our stomach for one more activation exercise. So thumbs are up towards the ceiling, and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together with your arms up at shoulder height, and then lower back down. Let's rotate the palms so that now they're facing towards the floor, and you're creating almost like a W shape with your arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and pull the hands away from the floor. Okay, and then we'll go back to that T shape. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then back to that W shape. Squeeze the shoulder blades together again. And last time, lift the thumbs, arms are straight, and then W shape again. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. Okay, so now we're going to warm up and coordinate the body all into one integrated fashion. So let's stand on one leg. We'll start with the left leg. And you're just going to reach down, try to touch your shin or maybe your knee with your with both hands. And then exhale to come on up to stand and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Palms are facing forward. And again, bend the left knee, reach maybe a little bit farther this time. And then stand back up, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then last time, maybe reaching a little bit further down this time. You might even be able to touch your toes. And then exhale to come back up to standing. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then we'll switch to the other leg. So 3 times on this side. Start by touching your knee or your shin. Press through your heel to come up to standing. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then again, a little bit lower. Stand up and stretch. Last time, maybe a little bit lower. You might be able to touch your toes. If not, that's okay. Good. Okay, last exercise. Step forward with the left foot and step back with the right. Bend your left knee and place both hands on top of your left thigh. If you're not feeling much of a stretch here, you can always lower down a little bit more and bring your hands to the floor. Okay, it's up to you. On your next inhale, lift the left arm and turn and look towards the ceiling as you twist. And then exhale to lower. Inhale the right arm. Exhale to lower. One more time, inhale the left. Exhale to lower. One more time on the right. Good, and make sure your back heel should be lifted up off the floor the whole time, okay? So your front foot is firmly planted in the floor, your back heel is lifted up off the floor. Let's step forward, bend the knees, and reach the arms to shoulder height, and then exhale to come up to standing. We'll switch to the other leg. Step back with the left. Hands are on your front thigh or down on the floor, whichever feels the most comfortable for you. You should feel like you're getting a nice stretch. It shouldn't hurt at all. Okay? Inhale, reach the right arm. Turn and look at that right hand as you twist. Exhale to lower. Switch to the left. Exhale. One more time on each side. Inhale to twist, maybe a little bit further this time. And last time on the left. Good. Step forward, bend the knees, reach the arms at shoulder height. Press through the heels so the heels just stay on the floor. And then exhale to come up to standing. Great, so that's it for today. So hopefully you guys had fun. And I hope that you guys can participate with this stretch every day before you go to work. And each time before you head out to the gym for a workout. And have fun. I'll see you next time. Thanks.